What are we going to call this one? I can't.
Sunbantu is spiritually fucked.
They don't even want her. Sunbantu, they don't even want you.
Ethiopia rejects Belle Gibson.
Right?
Wait. Dude, it's been so dry.
It's so dry.
My feet have looked like I just stepped in chalk.
Literally, when I took a bath earlier, oh my God, don't look at my ankles.
I hope everyone can see Jess's ankles right now.
Oh my God, don't see my ankles
They're
through the
so
pod.
ashy.
Don't see the ankle through the pod. I was literally bathing and scratching my ankles, feeling skin.
Actually, though, satisfying.
It was really satisfying. I was like, oh no.
Oh, yes.
With like,
yeah.
so good.
So good.
So good.
Because then you know it's gone.
Exactly. It's like super exfoliation.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's been like so dry.
It's been, yeah.
Being
like,
in a profession where your ashy, dry feet are in people's face.
where like you're walking by.
Yeah. And I can't.
Eyesight, your feet are in eye line.
Oh my God, I know. Also, I like have not shaved my legs. So like right around my ankles.
Neither.
My hair on my legs. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you get ashy.
Well, I wore a skirt like a week and a half ago at work, but like,
yeah,
you know, like at the knee. And so my leg hair is like from my thigh, from the knee up.
Yeah.
I mean, you could braid them, but like they're just prickly.
Yeah.
Down low.
Have you seen those tights that like look like you're wearing sheer black leggings, but they're really like fleece lined leggings?
Yeah, I have. No,
you're not going to?
I can't
for
do
work.
It. No,
when it's freezing.
It sounds so hot. I'm indoors in San Diego.
Oh,
yeah.
I would have gotten down on that in San Francisco.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's a somewhere else type thing, but you know, I'm fighting with the AC all the time.
But I feel like we were so like last winter was like really cold, so I feel like it might be cold again this winter. So when we last left off, Belle Gibson was flying very close to the sun. Like most other people that we've covered on this podcast, she was Icarus. We've used that multiple times now, right? Flying way too close to the sun.
Yeah.
So she had launched her app, had an exclusive spot on the new Apple Watch, had hundreds of thousands of adoring followers, and a book that was about to come out. In spring of 2014, and this is in Australia, so it's actually American fall, which I had a very hard time wrapping my head around because they kept being like, they kept mentioning September, and they would be like, later that spring.
You're like,
and I was like, what?
What? Yeah.
So spring in Australia is American fall.
That's wild. Okay.
Yeah. So the seasons, is it kind of
naturally?
It makes sense.
It does.
Hold my hands in a ball and shift it like this for you.
It actually makes way more sense.
Yeah.
With when you do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So in the spring of 2014, again, American fall, Belle's good friends have driven to her house to confront her about her cancer claims. Chanel tells Belle the book is about to come out. People are going to pay money for that. And people who are sick are going to read that. Do you really feel comfortable that this is going out into the world and you don't even know that your diagnosis is correct?
That's a real friend, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real, like, solid person for the public. Like, fuck being homegirl's friend, but she's standing up for what's right.
Yeah. And then she said, quote, "This is your inner circle knocking at your door. It starts here and it can end here."
Thank you.
No.
Yes, girl.
Yeah. Basically, she just was like, no, I still have cancer.
Yeah.
She even invited, she was like, told her natural therapist to come over. And so the natural therapist comes over and she's like, tell them I have cancer. And he's like, well, I mean, I'm not qualified to diagnose you, but you told me you have cancer.
You told me you have cancer, so I
I thought you did have
to
cancer.
believe you, right?
But then he said, like, as she was talking, it like slowly started to dawn on him that
she's like, no, the fuck she doesn't have
And he
cancer.
was like, she had even mentioned she had multiple heart surgeries. And then he's like, and then she did this photo shoot, and I could see her chest. And I was like, oh, you have no scars?
Where are your scars?
And she was like, oh, it was microscopic.
Fuck you.
And he was like,
no, it doesn't. Again, math ain't mathin'.
Yeah, he was like, it's not. He's like,
I've seen people with who have had heart surgery, and there is a very clear scar.
Yeah.
And even the ones who have like, and not that I've seen many, but like I've seen scars that are like very big and be very slight, but you can still see a scar.
Yeah. I know. So he was like, it wasn't adding up.
No.
And like the more she talked, the more he was like, oh no, she 100%
bad news bears
does not have cancer.
Bad news bears.
Yeah. So they left, and Jared and Chanel were like, we hope that you do the right thing. But they got in the car, and
they're like, she's not going to do the right thing.
And Chanel, all she could say was, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
She's too deep. She is too committed to this storyline where she's absolutely not going to do the right thing.
Way too deep. So on the night before the book launch, Belle told the director at Lantern Books, Julie Gibbs, that a jealous friend had turned on her, which Gibbs knew meant like someone is saying that her claims of having cancer weren't real. But the book launch went on anyway.
Oh my God.
October of 2014, the cookbook is released. And in it, so like in the foreword,
stop.
Yeah. In the foreword, she claims that in 2009, she received the Gardasil HPV cervical cancer vaccination and had an adverse reaction and suffered a stroke at work. She then was introduced to a man named Dr. Mark Johns, a neurologist and immunologist at Melbourne's Peter MacCallum Cancer Center. There's no evidence that this person ever existed. The Peter MacCallum Cancer Center has no record of him being employed at the facilities there, and no doctor by that name is registered in the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency.
She just pulled a name out of a name book.
Yeah. Belle says, quote, I will never forget sitting alone in the doctor's office, waiting for my test results. He called me in and said, you have malignant brain cancer, Belle. You're dying. You have 6 weeks, 4 months tops. Worst bedside manner if this is a person that actually existed.
I mean, but it's not because, and she did this to like
to dramatize it. But I was like,
the fuck? No doctor would be like,
you're dying, Belle.
You're dying.
Is that my Australian accent?
I don't know with that one.
I honestly tried to do Bluey.
I feel like it was like, you're dying, Belle, but it was like also New York. No, I don't know. It's just no.
Edit it out.
Edit it out. Tap, tap. Tap, tap.
So Belle's book was a super success. She was invited to speak around the world, telling her cancer story to crowds of people who looked at her as a source of inspiration. In a new documentary by the BBC, it features 3 women, all who have different types of cancer.
And she's one of them?
No.
Oh.
No, this is new.
Sorry.
This is a new documentary.
This
just came out last week.
Sorry.
Yeah, there was 3 women, all who have different types of cancers, who had shirked conventional medicine to follow Gibson's regimen and heal themselves.
Okay, so great. Like,
no, because it was fake. They had conventional treatment, and they were like, this woman
that's what you just
who
said.
has brain cancer is healing herself with food. I can do the same thing. So they stopped.
Yeah. Okay. So I misunderstood
then
that.
One woman interviewed for the Aussie paper The Age had used Belle's cookbook to help her father with his cancer symptoms, and he passed away sooner than his prognosis.
So her influence has only worsened.
Yeah. November.
I literally, when you sorry.
Yeah, you thought that they were like, oh.
Yeah. I'm like, cool. If you're eating healthier and that somehow has like turned some shit around. I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't think so. And I think this is what kind of comes into play a little bit later is that like Apple so once everything kind of comes out, Apple doesn't do anything for a little bit. And the cookbook people, they don't do anything for a little bit. And I think that their argument is like, this is a cookbook, or like these are a collection of recipes.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a
This
book
isn't
on
a
how
cure-all.
to cure your cancer. This is a cookbook. However, because she claims all of these things, and because her social media presence was like, I cured my cancer.
This is, follow me and do all the things that I do.
That's
this is going to give you hope.
Culpable. So in November of 2014, Belle was awarded Cosmopolitan Magazine's Fun Fearless Female Award in the social media category. Elle Australia published an interview with Gibson under the headline, "The Most Inspiring Woman You've Met This Year." Early 2015, Chanel reaches out to a journalist at The Age. That journalist tags in Beau Donelly and Nick Toscano, who wrote the book that has the amazing narration by James Saunders, our favorite Aussie now, with the Daniel Radcliffe jaw. So they got the tip and they were kind of like, like it sounded a little like sketch. And so they assumed this was like a disgruntled ex-employee that was going to be like, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
But once they interviewed Chanel, they were like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
This lady knows what's up. Her dad, I believe, was a detective. So she was like, things are adding up. And here's why. Let me tell you. And this, if it gets out, people need to know that she's a fake. Because they need to know that they can't heal their cancer.
Right. Because she's going off of bullshit. And these people really have issues. Like these people really have health concerns.
And so they did their due diligence. They sent a screenshot of Belle's announcement that the cancer had spread out to a bunch of oncologists to see, like, hey, what the probability is.
And like,
so many were like,
nah, bitch.
That's not how cancer works.
No.
This is not, this is very skeptical and very implausible that this is a woman who has cancer.
Right.
They tracked down 5 people from her inner circle that were all doubting her diagnosis, but no one wanted
to go on the record,
to come forward, because they were like, if she does have cancer, then we're assholes.
We're fucked up. Yeah.
But all of these people said they had never seen her go to the doctor. They'd never seen her take medicine. They all believed she faked her seizure at the party, which
tracks
because she probably did. But but no one wanted to say anything because what do you do?
It's a dick move. Like this is the thing. Nobody ever wants to doubt somebody's sickness because, like, God forbid, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But also, it's like, it takes somebody to be like, oh, this smells like shit.
Yeah.
This isn't feeling right.
Yeah.
And it takes a strong enough Chanel to be like, no, people are getting duped.
Yeah. Well, especially too, because I think that what I admire about Chanel is that she gave her the opportunity. She said, like,
this could end here.
She wasn't talking shit. She wasn't like going to the press behind her back. She was like, you need to own up
friend
and tell me
friend.
What's true. And if it's not, then we'll work through this together.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I'm not going to just leave you high and dry.
She's just going to lie to my face. Then like, this is unsafe.
Then now she's making the choice to be like, and putting a lot of people in harm.
Yeah. So Toscano and Donelly, they ran the story up the chain at The Age, and they were like, no, you can't run this. That no one wanted to go on record. You have to find a new angle. But their chief of staff was like, okay, if she's lying about this, what else is she lying about?
Mm-hmm.
So he gave them a few days to keep digging, which at the time was like a huge deal because they don't have very many resources at the paper.
Well, and you can't find like HIPAA, right? The HIPAA, like you can't find any information on.
HIPAA's the thing there, but no, wait, just
like
Australia.
I
don't know what that was
for
me either.
Me neither.
Sorry. All 12 listeners who are not from Australia. But their chief of staff gave him a few days. So they didn't have to look far because her charitable claims, which she built her company on, were all bogus. So March 8th, 2015, The Age
this is going to be my
article
favorite
came out. It reported that she failed to give away profits from her book as promised to various charities. Most of these organizations hadn't heard of her or received a dime. The Schwartz family, whose son was sick with cancer and whom she kind of inserted her life, herself into their lives, did not know that she was promoting anything using their name and had never received any money either.
That's so fucking nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Is their son?
No, he did not make it. I know. Very sad.
That is really sad.
Prior to print, Donelly and Toscano had reached out to Belle. They asked her about the donations and to clarify some questions. Belle wrote back that she was attending a funeral of a close friend and was not in the headspace to deal, which that close friend was Jess Ainscoe, the wellness warrior who had done Gerson therapy before. She did not know her that well. But she showed up to the funeral and kind of like inserted herself there and like made a big scene.
Because
like,
she wanted all the sorrow. She wanted the What is it called?
Everyone was like the sympathy.
The sympathy.
And everyone was like, this is kind of very weird. But again, everybody
grieves differently. So like nobody wants to like be like, oh,
as
that's
far as
weird.
they knew, she also had cancer. So maybe this was also bringing up some stuff of her own
within
mortality.
herself.
And so it was just like a very weird situation. So anyways, she's like, I'm at a funeral. I can't have a close friend, can't be there. I'm not in the headspace to deal.
So nasty.
But here's a receipt for the $1,000 donation to the charity One Girl. That she had
$1,000
that she had made 10 hours earlier.
Fuck off. So she was like, they're on my tail.
Yeah.
They're on my tail. I better start.
Why would she have done that?
No.
Why? And so then she had gone on to explain that she hadn't donated because she was having all of these cash flow problems and that an external accountant had come, and because the books weren't current, she was advised not to go through with the donations yet. So
she's always got a reason, right? She's always got a line.
So Donelly and Toscano, they were like, so usually when someone's caught in a lie, they either don't say anything, they say very little. She wrote 1,000-word response of all just kind of like, oh, I have an excuse for this, and oh, I have an excuse for this, and here's my receipt that I just like
10 hours ago.
They were like, it's very, very weird.
Yeah.
And it was very ineffective in explaining where any of the money had gone. March 9th, the next day, The Australian, the newspaper, reports the first doubts over Belle's cancer diagnosis. She claims herself, and the headline, I believe, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't put this in, was like, Belle Gibson cast doubts over her own cancer claims.
The fuck?
So she was like, damage control mode.
She's like, maybe I don't have cancer. Maybe all these doctors were lying to me. Fuck off.
So she says that the recent announcement of her blood, spleen, brain, uterus, and liver cancer was due to a misdiagnosis. But the reporter pokes like every hole in her narrative. And then the accusations.
Because that's what they do.
Yes. She just like, it makes no sense. I'm at a loss sometimes because the lying must have been exhausting.
That's what I'm saying.
And like this disconnection from reality of like, oh, like who thinks, oh, I can spin this by saying I was misdiagnosed.
I can't imagine her going to bed, and she must have some screws loose because she probably believes herself. I feel like that's the only way. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you lie to yourself enough where you start believing. I've never done that, but I think it's a thing.
No, it is a thing, but
it doesn't.
I don't think so because the way that she pivots.
Yeah, I don't know.
The way that she pivots. I don't know. I think she's
just a fucking awful human.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know how to compute that because I'm not an awful human. But I like for somebody to be able to go to bed at night knowing she's caught in this crazy lie by all of the Australia.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is fucking wild to me.
Yeah. So accusations spread like wildfire. Sources started coming out.
Good.
And it turned into a global situation.
Good.
In turn, both Gibson and the whole pantry social media accounts scrubbed any health claims from the Instagram and Facebook pages.
Because they wanted all the liabilities to be
They were like, we got to get rid of it. But there's already so many screenshots.
It's already out there. And it's been out there.
Yeah. And so Belle became like the most hated woman in the
Rightfully
world.
so.
She was getting death threats. People were livid because she lied about like having cancer.
And she
like,
preyed
and
on the
that
like
was unforgivable, but it was like the hope and the preying on people that do have cancer,
exactly,
who are like suffering, was just like,
she preyed on the hope that those people, the last bit of hope that those people had.
Yeah,
she preyed on it.
Yeah,
it's fucking nasty.
Penguin pulled her book after emails for her to elaborate went unanswered.
Mm-hmm.
However, Donelly and Toscano reported that they were prepared for and had rehearsed talking points in case this had happened. And there's a video of the mock interview.
I must.
Yeah. They admitted to not confirming her claims because it was a cookbook and because she wasn't doling out medical advice per se, but they still ended up having to pay fines in the long run to the Australian Consumer Law Fund for failing to validate the factual content of the
book. Good.
Yeah. Both Elle Australia and Cosmopolitan claimed they got tipped off earlier than the award ceremony and that big article they wrote, but they were like, we don't really know, because I will say I have read the Elle Australia tip email that they got, and it's not Chanel, it's someone else, and they were like, this woman is pure evil and she does not have cancer. Like, it sounded crazy.
Yeah, so you're like not going to give too much attention.
Take it with like a grain of salt
because
at that point she had more validity than this
right.
person.
It needed to be more objective.
Yes.
For the right, for somebody to be open to the validity.
And also they were like, who lies about having cancer?
Fucking nobody. Except for the worst
Mel
people.
Gibson.
Yeah.
March 18th, so like 9 days later, Apple withdrew her app from the store and the Apple Watch showcase.
Good.
May 15th, she does an interview with Australian Women's Weekly titled, My Lifelong Struggle with the Truth, where she admits that she does not have cancer.
Oh my God.
Yes.
My lifelong struggle with the truth. She literally, I mean, if there is not a truer fucking title than that, she's been lying her whole life.
Okay, but listen, because she lies through this whole interview. This is a quote from the article.
So true.
Okay, this is a quote from the article of Australia's Women's Weekly. One of the most troubling aspects of Belle's response is that she appears to have little empathy. When Belle cries, her tears appear to be mostly for herself.
That tracks.
Yeah. The article is super brutal.
Oh, good.
But overall, it's not that bad compared to what's to come. In the article, she concedes... So the article concedes she may be troubled or could be dealing with mental illness. They mention Munchausen syndrome, a factitious disorder in which a person deceives others by appearing sick or making themselves sick.
Yeah.
They also verified the existence of Dr. Phil. He was a real person.
What? Oh, God.
He was a real person. So he was a real guy. He was treating her for cancer. She had him on a $600 a month retainer. However, she had been scanned recently enough to know that she didn't have cancer. So this might have been a guy that, again, she said, I have cancer. And he's like, okay, I'm treating you. Yeah. I don't know. It could have also been someone who was also just preying on her to get money. And
I mean, they're probably feeding each other.
And maybe she was like, this is a scapegoat. I don't know. I wasn't there. So after the article, Belle was still upset about the public backlash over her lies. Like, she was like, I've done...
What do you mean upset?
Yeah.
Couldn't she see that what she did was wrong?
No.
Okay,
because she was like, I did so much good.
Oh.
I encouraged people to eat healthy and live healthier lives. I donated
That's
all
where
this
I was
money
going
to
at first. I was like,
these
okay,
charities.
well, she's encouraging people.
I did all these amazing things, but she didn't.
No.
Because she didn't give money.
No.
She wasn't encouraging people
She was
healthier.
literally
encouraging them to not have cancer.
Yeah.
And that's impossible.
It's literally impossible. Like, she was feeding off of people, like, other people's illnesses and not paying the people that she said she was going to. Sorry, I don't know how to word this right.
You're good. It's late.
Dead. It's late.
Yeah, it's late.
But she was literally like stealing money.
Yeah. Yeah. So soon after the Women's Weekly article came out, her mother also gave an interview and was like, she's a fucking liar.
Oh, that feels good.
Yeah.
That feels great.
Yeah. And then her mom was also kind of crazy. And like Donelly and Toscano were like, yeah,
That's
after
where
that, she
she's-
kept being like, you need to give me more money and I'll give you more info. But then would continue to just talk and give out all the info.
Yeah. She's like, they're like,
she was just like
okay.
a piece of work and they
Well,
were like,
keep it coming.
Okay.
Keep
Like,
it
not
coming.
necessarily like so off that it was like but just was like,
It was,
oh
yeah.
God, just like the nonstop.
The apple did not fall far.
So
is
in
what it sounds like.
June 2014, Belle decides to do a 60 Minutes interview. Reportedly was paid $45,000.
This is the thing. She
It's-
keeps doing interviews.
It was brutal.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, she just can't help herself. Like, she needs to go
Yeah.
under a rock and just
She does.
disappear.
That is what she was advised to do.
And she won't, because
And
she
so-
loves all the attention
Yeah.
and the empathy that she's trying to get, that she doesn't realize is like that ship has sailed.
No,
But she's
not
gonna
get
keep trying
any
for
empathy.
it.
So Alex Toomey, who is advisor, like a corporate, he's like basically like on Scandal, right?
Mhm.
He's like a fixer kind of, or like an advisor.
Olivia Pope.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like he helps like businesses kind of get out of these kind of situations.
Yeah.
So he's the one that set up the Women's Weekly interview, and he was like, "Do not do television; it will be bad. This will be better. You just kind of need to do this. Say sorry, I was wrong." And then go hide.
And then go hide.
Change your name.
Yeah.
Do whatever. So
Find a rock.
She does not do that because she, again, is
She's
still, and she's
thirsty.
still like completely, she's like, do you think that the business can be saved? And he's like, fuck
No.
no, it cannot.
Cut
be
your
saved."
losses and hide.
Yeah. So she
And
does
I'm being
this
nice.
interview.
Fuck.
She claims to believe that she had brain cancer the whole time. So she really wasn't deceiving anyone because she was suffering, because she thought that she had cancer. She just didn't, but she didn't know that she didn't.
Oh
And-
my God.
And like,
The pain.
and then the lady keeps being like, no, but you didn't have cancer, so you weren't suffering. And she's like, no, but I believe that I did. And
So
she's
you
like,
were emotionally
did it.
suffering?
yeah, she's like, but
Like,
you didn't.
were the thoughts of having cancer like creating all of these ailments? Like,
Yeah, she was like, but you didn't. So like,
no.
so then you,
So
like,
what fucking reality are you talking
Yeah.
about? Because it's
So
not it.
then in the most brutal of exchanges,
Tell me.
it's like the hardest to watch, is
Oh
the
my God.
host.
Did you watch it?
Brown,
I need to. Oh my God.
She asks, how old are you? And she's like, 26. And she keeps being like, how old are you? And she's like, I've had a lot of birth certificates. And she's like, how old are you? And then she says, and this is a quote, I've always been raised as being currently a 26-year-old.
Oh.
At the time, she was
My-
23.
Oh my God.
She's like, just could not.
She couldn't. Oh my
It was
God.
brutal.
You've done all of that in those like
Can't.
she can't
She
truth.
can't.
She cannot truth to save her
No.
life. She'd been
It is,
given
like,
so many.
symptoms. Even if she just was like 23, who
Who
the fuck would
cares?
care about your age?
Perfect. She's lying about the grass being green.
So stupid.
Literally.
So
Just
the whole
can't help
interview is like
herself.
basically Tara Brown asking, like going through every online claim and being like, was this true?
Wait, who
What's the deal
interviewed
with
her?
this, this woman, Tara Brown. It's Australian, 60 Minutes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Sorry,
we don't
sorry,
get them.
sorry. I was like, hold on.
Hold on. Who's my
Barbara
people?
Walters. Get on her.
So she does some backpedaling to attempt to garner sympathy.
Not happening.
So like she's like, I just, I'm looking for some sympathy. And Tara Brown's like, the only people I have sympathy for is people with actual cancer. It's just like so
Yes.
brutal. So fucking insane lady. So March 2017,
Oh my
Belle
God,
was
that
found
was-
guilty of 5 breaches of consumer law by Consumer Affairs Victoria.
That's incredible.
The federal court justice, Deborah Mortimer, found that Gibson's claims had been misleading and deceptive and that, quote, Miss Gibson had no reasonable basis to believe she had cancer from the time she began making these claims in public to promote the Whole Pantry book and the apps in mid-2013. But there was not enough evidence to prove that she was not acting out of delusion.
What?
So they were like, I don't know, she is delusional.
Certainly.
Law, they were like, so
she's insane? Are they they're gonna excuse her?
No.
Oh, shit.
So September 2017, Gibson was fined $410,000 for making false claims about her charitable donations. Gibson claimed she couldn't pay that, but in the years following, she lived mostly like nothing happened. She traveled to Bali in Africa, and from 2017 to 2019—
Wait, of all this money that she made, she couldn't afford to pay that?
Yeah.
All this money that she made in other people's names?
Yeah. She was like, I can't pay that. But then goes to Bali and Africa, and then in 2 years spends $13,000 on clothing, accessories, and cosmetics.
Fuck her.
Do you know?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot
That's
of
a
money.
lot of money. That's a lot.
The amount of like, you're not shopping at
No,
Target.
that's not Target. That's not even like $13,000 in 2 years.
In 2 years, which I'm like, I can't even wrap my brain around. I feel like I've not spent $1,000 on clothes.
No,
with accessories and cosmetics in 2 years.
Fuck that.
Because I mean, you've got a kid. Like,
what are you doing?
And you know you spend less on yourself. I don't know. She's a fucking narcissist, so I don't know.
She is.
So January of 2020, the sheriff's office of Victoria raided Gibson's home and seized items in an attempt to recoup Gibson's unpaid fines, which because of the interest was exceeding $500,000.
Fuck.
A video surfaced of Belle, like the day after the raid. A video surfaced of her in October of 2019 sporting a headscarf and speaking Oromo. And
what?
It's like a African language, referring to herself as Sanbantu. And in the interview, she talks about politics in Ethiopia and referring to it as back home. Like as she's sick. Ethiopia.
She's mentally sick.
Yeah.
Like she has to
And
be.
she's like, I'm so happy for the Oromo and Ethiopian community to have accepted me and adopted me here.
Because she's going to dupe them the way that she's duped everybody else.
Yeah, she said she was introduced to the community 4 years ago when she started volunteering with them. And it was a gift from the community and a gift from Allah.
My God.
She had discovered this like amazing group of people. The day
you can't make this up. You
the
literally
day the
cannot
video
make this
surfaces, and in an article entitled
"Uh-oh." What? What?
Cancer fraudster Belle Gibson rejected by Ethiopia. She's joking.
That is so good. Rejected.
The president of the Australian Oromo Community Association in Victoria said, "We don't know her."
They said, no, we're not gonna fucking put our name on that shit.
She was not a registered volunteer, and he'd seen her a few times and thought someone else brought her.
She must have come in with somebody else.
And then he said,
when she's like, I'm so grateful.
This quote though, so he says, quote,
I wonder where that
she
bitch
is
came
not
from.
a community member, and she's also not working with the community. She has to stop telling people she is.
They don't even want to claim her. They can't claim her. She is literally.
Please stop. Please stop associating yourself with that.
I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Do not. Do not.
I can't
bring that over here.
Rejected
by herself a name.
She gave herself a full-on name. This
And
interview,
she thanked a lot.
I'm going to have to post it. It's so unhinged.
And they're like, nah, bitch. I don't know who she came here with.
She keeps like,
she did not make the list.
She keeps like speaking, like inserting like these aroma, like there's like little tidbits to be like, I don't know. It feels like when, oh my God, it feels like when someone is like around someone who speaks Spanish and they'll be like, you know, this, I don't even.
No.
I just like, you know, like
Even like
inserting words with like the accent that is just so unnecessary.
yes, the enyes. I feel like
or like the giada, like the giada. I can't even talk. I'm just using my
I just feel like she's just
oh my God, it's so cringe and so unhinged, and I will post it.
I feel like this is, you might have to edit this part out. But I feel like even like the most rural and like the most maybe not connected of countries, and maybe like the not, you might have to edit this shit out, can smell her bullshit though.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, we don't even want that shit. We don't want like anything to do with her.
Yeah.
Alert, 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 alert.
Well, so
she can't even be accepted anyway.
No,
like,
so the president of this community in Australia, he was like, to volunteer here, we require background checks. So she would not have
cleared
a background check. And he's like, we did not know. He's like, I'd seen her around and I thought someone brought her. I didn't know who she was, but now that I know, don't come here.
No, you're not even wanted here.
No, don't.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
That is so fucking good. That brings me like
so much joy.
Yes.
So much joy. So in May 2021, her home was raided again.
Oh,
they're allowing her basically like basic comforts. And they're like, anything else?
No.
Ours.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And currently
You've got back. Yeah.
So currently she's laying low, and there is a new documentary about her, I think, on BBC. And I feel like every few years there's just a new documentary or a new something or other.
Oh my God, but wait, where's her son? Her poor son.
I know. See, and that's why I feel like it's bad momming. So maybe not a good mom, but like is doting, and who knows, maybe that guy is still around because he still wants to like do right by this kid who's now thrown in this fucking, because I mean, imagine losing like a father figure and then also all of this shit happening.
Yeah,
so
he's
maybe,
like, if I go, he has nothing.
I don't know his reasons,
but they're still together?
Yeah, apparently. As far as I know, yeah.
No, he's in it for the kid. He has to be, because once
People
you realize that the person that you think
Yeah.
was that person is not, then
Yeah.
what is there to stay for unless there's somebody else who's completely innocent in all of it? So maybe he's just a good dude.
I don't know. I don't want to put that out there, but
Maybe he's just a trying dude.
I don't know. I feel like it's probably very complicated for him, and I'm very curious to know, because it's very curious that he did give enough of an interview to be like, yeah, that I know that I knew it was wrong and that the diagnosis was wrong. Like, but to still be with hers, which also I'm like, okay, if I was shady as fuck and you sold me out, bet your ass you wouldn't be up in this. Because that's weird too.
That is weird. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I just need to follow her now. Oh my God, is she on? No,
she's not.
Damn.
I don't think she's anywhere online.
Yeah, she's probably hiding.
Yeah,
As she should be. Yeah.
But
oh my God.
yeah, so that is the story of Belle Gibson. She is not necessarily connected to the yoga world. However, I feel like because she's an influencer, and because the way that like a lot of like yoga Instagram is that a lot of us fall for that shit.
Yeah.
And I feel
Because
like
it's always like you're looking for, and you're just open.
And I think that like in, wellness as a whole, I think this is like,
it can show itself in different ways.
Yeah. And I think it's a symptom of wellness culture and where it's going.
Yeah.
And yoga fits into that.
Yeah.
So even though it's not technically yoga related, I feel like it is yoga adjacent and also important to be aware of so that we don't believe all of the bullshit that people try to sell us.
Because it's...
And to question everything.
Question every fucking thing.
Yeah.
And when
if someone tells you to eat melons because they look like brains and that's good for your brain
that start with a P,
then question
that shit.
Question
when your math ain't mathin'.
Yeah. Oh my God. Question everything.
What are we gonna call this one? I can't.
Sunbantu is spiritually fucked.
They don't even want her. Sunbantu, they don't even want you.
Ethiopia rejects Belle Gibson.
Right?
Wait. What was the headline? That was the best one. Cancer fraudster rejected by Ethiopians.
Cancer fraudster rejected by Ethiopians.
Boom. Fucking Sambantu.
That was so good. I knew it had to be something so like the first 2 minutes. I was like, she's bad news bears.
I feel like this was a good I mean, obviously this is not very good because a lot of people were affected negatively.
Yeah.
But it wasn't murder.
It wasn't murder.
So I feel like we needed it.
Like nobody died.
Yeah. We needed nobody dying. Well, okay. We needed no one intentionally murdered.
A lot of people died. Yeah. It wasn't like Shank.
No.
Kind of murder.
No.
But a lot of people died believing Belle's bullshit.
Yeah. It's pretty disgusting.
It is.
Like super vile human shit.
Yeah. She was so young.
I know.
She is my sister's age.
Mm-hmm.
And to have caused all that shit in this, like, that doesn't, she's a different human.
Yeah.
And she was probably born that way.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt. So in this new documentary, her brother gives an interview. I have not been able to get it because I don't know how to work a VPN thing so that I can get it on. But I'm very curious to see what her brother thinks because in the book, he's very much like, I'm trying to have a relationship with her. That really, really sucks that, she said the things that she did. But now I guess he's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And
I feel like a part of him is going to be like, oh, I just want to see like what I can make of like what relationship I can make with her because we were never given like a solid chance probably.
And I think their kids are the same age too. So I think that there was like some sort of like, oh, well, maybe there's going to be like some like maybe we can like figure this out and work it out as family and be good in the long run. But I don't know.
I, being the fierce mom that I am, would never try to mend a relationship with somebody like that. No. Because I have kids.
No.
I will not. That's damaging.
Especially, I mean, not to shit on or, not to discredit like anyone who is on the spectrum or who is autistic, but like this guy, I mean, I assume he's older and probably has some sort of stigma about it where he's like feels like not good about having to constantly be like, oh, hey, no, I'm not autistic.
Yeah, well, I didn't even think about that, but that's a big part of it too, where it's like you not only lied about yourself, but you lied about me, which is something I could totally get over, but I can't get over the vile human being that you are.
Yeah.
And I will not expose my kids to you. Like, I just would never.
Mm-mm.
But I understand his reasons for trying.
Yeah.
And then he was probably like, oh, no, this bitch is real fucked up.
But I feel like there's a real big money grab going on with her family where they're like trying to, because in the book, the mom was always like, tell them that I will give an interview for like this amount of
A
money.
few grand or blah, blah, blah.
She was quoted as saying, like, no money, no honey.
Ew. Ew. I'm looking her up.
gross.
Belle Gibson. Her name is even ridiculous. That's what she looks like.
Yeah.
Convicted scammer and pseudoscience advocate. She's the author of the whole pantry mole plot.
Did you find her in her headscarf yet?
No, but I need to.
I'm going to post it. It's going to be
She's going to look
good.
so fucking ridiculous because I cannot imagine.
It is
She is
so
like
ridiculous.
the whitest of white people.
Mm-hmm. And that's no discredit on white people because
No.
together we make one whole white lady.
Yeah, we do. Also.
But she is the whitest of white ladies.
She's the whitest of white ladies.
In an Ethiopian
rejected by Ethiopia. Yeah, she's 32.
The Oromo community knows what's up. So thank you for listening. Please, you can follow us on Instagram at Spiritually Effed Podcast. Please rate and review.
Rate and review.
I know. I hear it all the time from other people, but it does not flow out of the mouth as it should.
No.
Please rate and review us. You can check out our website, spirituallyfuck.com, or email us at hello@spirituallyfuck.com if you have any good stories or leads, or to say hi and nice things only.
On nice things only.
Nice things only. We can't
I'm
handle.
too fragile.
Yeah, we can't handle. But other than that, thank you so much for listening.
Headscarf! I found